Hello, and welcome to the Digital Experience Sprint Cycle Planning Meeting for the sprint starting this week, May 24th on Monday for some of us. Some of us had the day off yesterday, and there is also an upcoming Family and Friends Day, and some of us are taking holidays. So a little bit lighter workload this week, or this cycle, hopefully, but yeah, that's what's going on with us. And I have the first items for the to-do list in this sprint. My focus is going to be on the pricing page, and so we have a few different things we're looking to iterate on there. But yeah, MVC of another A/B test will be coming up for that. And next up is Lauren.
Okay, I'll be implementing the authorization code flow for Netlify CMS. And it turns out that it now all works for GitLab. I just checked their docs and it's all updated. So it's like, sweet. I'm going to support with creating the event template in www. We have all our components in there. Tyler's going to work on assembling them all together. And I'm going to support there. And then I'm going to get started on enabling the event content type in Netlify CMS this sprint. And that will just turn it on in there. And then I'm going to do some good discovery on adding a product to the GitLab. Well, not a product, adding a footer to the GitLab product. So I'm just going to go ahead and try. Come back to you and see how it went. I've got an inline SVG extension for middleman MR in process, and that's going to let us use SVGs a lot more efficiently within our middleman instance. And then a quick patch up on our current comparison page template. There's some H1, H2 stuff that isn't quite right. So I'm going to put a quick patch in there. And I think we're going to be working on that template a lot more during this quarter. And Tina.
Thanks. I have three priorities for this cycle. Mainly, I'll be focused on wireframes for the solution page CMS, using PubSec as the child page for the first use case. I'm also going to work on the product footer with Lauren. And lastly, once we get a bit of sample data, I'm going to get my head into UX planning for the first iteration of the compare table, which I'm working on with Tyler and Javi. Next is Tyler.
Yeah, so I'm taking a longer vacation next week and the week after, so kind of light for me. I'm gonna move us forward a little bit on the event template with Barker, just wiring things up, getting them together. That's kind of like the big deliverable for me before I head out. And other than that, I'm gonna the rest of my time, although I'm gonna do this first, I'm gonna do some planning for the comparison pages Tina mentioned. So I'm gonna get through that today so that I can touch base with everyone and feel aligned before I hop off. And then I've got time reserved just to touch base with everyone. Barker going reviewing the event template, talk with Laura too, because I imagine that you'll probably end up picking up stuff there too, make sure that we're all feeling good. And then connecting with Javi and Tina too about the comparison page plan and making sure that I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and that I'm good to go. So yeah. And up next is Laura.
Yeah, thanks. So I will be doing some work on our new free trial page. The designs are ready for that. And also we have in the works a free trial banner that we can put on other pages. The plan is to make it into a partial. Hopefully we can build it in Slippers and insert that on any of the top 15 pages that we want to make sure there's a pathway to free trial. I have a little bit of overflow from last cycle to finish some CSS on the partners page, CSS improvements. And then I made a issue for the install page. The scrolling is all wonky. I tried to fix it real quick. I'm just going to need to rewrite it. It's using some really old like jQuery magic, and I think that can be hugely improved. But I fought with it a little bit last cycle, and so I know it's going to be a bit of a pain to rewrite. So I'll be doing that, and I'll leave a bit of space for any of the event commit events templating that needs to be done. And next is Javi.
Hello, I'm working on, I put the epic in there just because I think it would be more contextual to just link that in the doc, but essentially I'm going forward with the strategy of migrating the navigation over to about. I have an MR open right now for turning on Slippers site-wide that you can see there that I linked I included essentially turning on slippers in the head of the includes. Also a front matter property for turning on pre-flight on the appropriate pages. I tagged Tyler in the MR, but I think everyone should look through this. 3 points for cleaning up legacy code and inserting the new SOP includes, which includes SOP navigation, SOP footer, SOP, I don't remember what we're calling the banner top, but the banner top in the homepage. And then 4 points for the actual migration. I anticipate that this will probably take longer, but I just wanted to have like essentially to the point where I can take draft off of the comment and people can start like weighing in on it. I anticipate for there to be, yes, SOP equals slippers. Yes. Sorry, Tina. Sorry for using an acronym that, unless you have context, doesn't make that much sense. So that's kind of what I'm up to. Kind of as Tyler has mentioned, we're working on some comparison pages stuff. So I'm going to be assisting him with that and doing some stuff with YAML so that we can set it up with Netlify CMS, which is the whole point of all the work that we're doing. Up next is Jess.
Thanks, Abby. So I closed out a few things yesterday that are small. There's a new iteration of the pricing page, which is a lot of content update. There's also a reusable banner component that we're using to direct people to a free trial. And I also did some user research for the free trial sign up form on SAS. That one we're kind of putting on hold to pivot to some other things, but I kind of just summarized what we had so far. And then I've got this, I met with someone last week. They had some really interesting data drivers. We're going to kind of see what pages we might be able to use those on. And then lastly, I think I'm going to take on the contact sales page next and kind of do a first iteration pass of the design. And then Stephen, you're up.
I have 2 points for, we have currently set a bunch of sub epics from the parent epic for the top 15. So the plan for the next, for this sprint is to change them into issues, not epics. So they're a little bit easier to manage and link to each other. And then another one is to support bringing in my Q1 OKR, which was on the product and feature description page, which we chatted about before, Jess, just about maybe looking at that for this core. So support bringing that in for this. And Nathan is next.
Yeah, this is my first sprint planning, so I'm not 100% sure this week. I think it's more onboarding, but I'll have to sit down with somebody at some point and figure out what's on the agenda for this iteration or cycle.
Yeah, so we have a few things lined up for you. And then I think the first item is getting you added to a few more pages on the website, like the team page and org chart and handbook and stuff like that. And then there's some suggestions up at the top of the sprint planning doc, but yeah, and I think that'll go well, just depending on, what you're comfortable with this week. But yeah, that's it for the digital experience team this time. And thanks for watching, everyone. Later.